Hello children, today we are going to discuss about functions which is going to help you in calculus, particularly about your domain and range problems also, and it is one of the most important topics for mathematics, especially for calculus. You must remember whatever the graphs we are going to draw for you because it'll help you to understand the functions, and they will be very helpful later on when we will be dealing with limits, when we will be doing with calculus. So this is actually pre-calculus. Let's start with the first function. Like if I say linear function. First is linear function. A function of the kind fx, it is also denoted as y and fx is one and the same thing. Y is equal to fx is equal to ax plus b, where a and b are constant. Are constant. Another condition attached to it is that a cannot be equal to 0. A cannot be equal to 0 because if a becomes 0, suppose if a is equal to 0, then y will become equal to b, which is a constant function. This is a constant function. This will be just a straight line parallel to x-axis at a distance of y is equal to b. It is a constant function and not a linear function. A linear function will represent a straight line. Y is equal to ax plus b, or fx is equal to ax plus b, represents a straight line. Like I have this is x-axis, x dash, this is y dash, this is origin. If I draw any line cutting x-axis or y-axis, whatever it may be, suppose I draw a line like this. Suppose this is a line AB. Actually, it is a linear function. It is y is equal to mx plus c. You generally in standard must have studied to write it like y is equal to mx plus c. We generally write it y is equal to mx plus c. Here we are saying ax plus b. It's just a question of m and c are also constant. So are a and b. Now this line AB makes an angle of theta with the positive direction of x-axis. In the positive direction of x-axis, the anti-clockwise direction is taken as positive. Anti-clockwise direction is taken as positive. The line AB is making an angle theta with x-axis in the positive direction of x-axis. With the positive x-axis is the side, it's making an angle theta. it can make on the from the other side, but that is from the negative side. We are not talking of the angle the line AB is making with OX dash. We are talking of with OX, the line on the positive side. Line on the positive side. I'm not talking of the line on the negative side. So the line is making an angle theta. The straight line is making an angle theta. AB is making an angle theta with positive direction of x-axis, and this tan theta, tan of this angle theta is called the slope. It is called slope of the line, slope or gradient of the line. Theta is inclination. Theta is called inclination. Theta is called inclination, while as tan theta is called the slope or the gradient of the line. Now here in this figure, in the above figure, we notice that theta is acute. It appears to be acute. It appears to be acute. It is less than 90 degree. It is less than 90 degree. So tan theta will be positive. Why will it be positive? Because in the first quadrant between 0 and 90, all trigonometric ratios are positive. All trigonometric ratios are positive. So tan theta, theta being acute, tan theta will be what? Positive. So there is one conclusion we draw. If theta is acute, slope is positive. Slope is positive. The vice versa is also true. If slope is positive, then theta is acute. Theta is acute. It helps you to determine that what kind of a linear function is that. This is theta is an acute. Now if I name some other things, like if I name it this point P and this point T. Now OT is the intercept cut by the straight line AB on y-axis. OT is the y-intercept. It is called y-intercept. It is called y-intercept. It is called y-intercept. The intercept, the portion of the y-axis cut by straight line AB. You just can see in the figure, OT. OT is the y-intercept. It is called the y-intercept. Generally in the form y is equal to mx plus c, c represents the y-intercept. C represents the y-intercept. And the other thing is OP. OP is x-intercept. Intercept. The portion of the x-axis, cut by a straight line AB. So we discussed the inclination, we discussed the slope, we discussed the x-intercept and the y-intercept. This you must have done, I'm sure, in standard 10th. We all have done it in standard 10th. But when we are discussing about the function, when we are discussing about the linear function, then this is part of the thing which we are going to discuss. Now, let me make another figure. Now again, we have the two axes, x-axis and y-axis. X dash or x is x-axis, which is also called abscissa, and y-axis ordinate axis, y or y dash, o is the origin, and the line CD. Now look in this condition. In the previous case, AB was making an acute angle with the positive direction of x-axis. Here if you look at this angle, suppose this is alpha, this angle is alpha. This line CD makes an angle with the positive direction of x-axis. We are moving anti-clockwise, and we are taking the angle from the positive side of the x-axis, from the positive side of the x-axis. And let me take another color and name these points L and M. Now if I look at alpha, I would say the what is it called? This 10 alpha will be called the slope or the gradient, but alpha is called the inclination. Alpha inclination. And seems to be obtuse to us. It looks obtuse angle. Alpha looks to be greater than 90 degree. It is greater than 90 degree. 10 alpha is M. It is called slope or gradient. One and the same thing. It is the same thing. It is the gradient of the line. The gradient of the line. Now in this case, because alpha is obtuse, that means it is going to fall into the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, only sine and cosec are positive, the rest are negative. As alpha is obtuse, so 10 alpha will be negative, as alpha will fall in second quadrant, and hence alpha will fall in second quadrant, and hence 10 alpha will be negative. It will be negative. So, like we wrote in the first case, so if alpha is obtuse, then slope is negative. Slope is negative, and if slope is negative, if slope is negative, then the inclination is obtuse, like in the first case it was about acute, now it is about obtuse. Here OL is the y-intercept, OL is the y-intercept, and OM is the x-intercept. The thing is the same, whatever the portions of the line, whatever the portion of the y-axis the line cuts is called y-intercept, whatever the portion is cut by line on the x-axis, it is called x-intercept. So this is your idea about the linear function, and in the linear function you must understand that y is equal to ax plus b, or generally we also write y is equal to mx plus c. mx plus c. It is the representation of a straight line. It is the representation of a straight line where m is slope and c is y-intercept. There are many ways in which a straight line equation can be written, and I don't think I need to discuss this at this stage, because all form of straight lines you have studied in standard 10th. Now the next discussion is about quadratic function. The next function which we are going to discuss is quadratic function. It is about the quadratic function. It is a quadratic function. And what is a quadratic function? A function fx, we can write y also, ax square plus bx plus c. And the function of the kind ax square plus bx plus c, it is a polynomial of second degree. The highest degree of variable is x. If we have taken variable x here, you can take any other variable as well. Here ax square, y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are constants. These are constant. And like in the linear function, we had a condition that a cannot be equal to 0. Here also a cannot be equal to 0. A cannot be equal to 0. Because if a is 0, if a becomes 0, then it will become a linear function. It will not be a polynomial of the second degree. If a is equal to 0, then it will convert to linear function. Here you can understand b can be equal to 0, c can be equal to 0, but it cannot be, a cannot be equal to 0, because for a quadratic function, the power of the unknown should be 2. Highest power of the unknown should be, or the variable should be 2. It cannot be less than 2 or more than 2. So it is quadratic function, and basically it is parabola. It is parabola. It is parabola, and we are going to discuss now that what is the shape of the parabola, how does it take, and on what factors does it depend. What factors does it depend? We are going to study parabolas opening upwards or downwards. So number one, for a is equal to a greater than 0, that means a is positive. If a is positive, you can always make a positive. You can make always a positive because it is a polynomial function or equation y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. You can make it positive also if you like. But for a is equal to 0, if a is greater than 0, that means a is positive. We get parabola opening upward, like, let me draw a line. This is suppose x-axis. I'm not drawing y-axis just now. I'm simply drawing x-axis. Something of this kind. This is a parabola. Now this, please notice, if this is x-axis, then this parabola is not cutting the x-axis. There are three things which can happen. Number one, it is not cutting the x-axis. It is not cutting the x-axis. As we were discussing that for parabola, in the first case what I'm saying, a is greater than 0. If a is greater than 0, then what will happen is that we are getting parabola opening upwards. Like in this figure you can see above x-axis. It is not cutting the x-axis. There are three things which I'll show you in this case. Now let me take another x-axis, illustrate with another thing. This is x-axis, and I have something of this kind. Now here the curve is cutting the x-axis at 2 points. Suppose it is x1 and x2. It's cutting at x1, x2. There is third possibility also, which you must see also. Here the curve is neither cutting nor it is above. It is touching the x-axis. Here in the first case what I'm saying is above x-axis. In this case, cutting x-axis. In the third case, it is touching x-axis. Touching x-axis. It is touching x-axis. There are three cases which can happen with the same kind of a parabola opening upward. All three parabolas are opening upward. Opening upward means it should have a greater than 0. If it is a greater than 0, then this is opening upward. And there are three possible cases I'm showing. One is it is not It is above x-axis, it doesn't touch or cut x-axis. In the second case, it is cutting x-axis. In the third case, it is touching the x-axis. Now let us see the second case. First case was a was greater than 0. In the second case, if a is less than 0. That means a is negative. In the function y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, which is a quadratic function, if a is negative, then what happens? Again, the three kind of things will happen, but they will happen. This parabola, where a is going to be negative, is opening downward. The parabola will be opening downward. It will be opening downward. When it is opening downward, then what happens? There are again three cases are going to be there, as in the first case. I'll illustrate all the three cases. Now, this is the x-axis. So, parabola is totally below x-axis. Like in the first case, here parabola was totally above x-axis. Here parabola is totally below x-axis. It is not touching, it is not cutting x-axis. In the second case, suppose it is cutting at 2 points, x-axis. In the third case, let's see the third case. Now, this is totally touching the x-axis. It is not cutting, it is not touching, it is not cutting, or it is not below x-axis, but it is touching the x-axis. Like in the first, when a was greater than 0, there were three possibilities. Similarly, when a is less than 0, when it is opening downward, there are three possibilities. One is just below the x-axis. It could be any distance from x-axis. It is just a matter of showing. It can be any, it could have any distance from x-axis. But it is not cutting or touching x-axis. In the second case, it is cutting the x-axis. In the third case, it is touching the x-axis. So whether opening upward, whether opening downward, there are two cases of parabola here. Whether opening upward or opening downward, we see that either parabola is totally above x-axis or totally below x-axis. Or it is cutting x-axis opening upward, or it is cutting y-axis at x-axis at two places opening downward. In the third case, it is touching the x-axis opening upward, or touching x-axis down, opening downward and touching x-axis. So there are three cases for both the things which we are going to discuss now. Two points we have discussed. Let us discuss the third point. Roots. What are roots actually? What are roots? Roots are the value of x, value of x where the curve cuts x-axis. Like in this second case, you see x2, x3 are the roots. In the second case here, x1 and x2 are the roots. In the first case, there are no roots because it is not cutting the x-axis. It is totally above the x-axis, or it is totally below the x-axis. So in these two cases, the first case of the opening upward or opening downward, we realize that the curve is not cutting the x-axis, so there are no roots. There are no real roots. There are no real root. In the second case, yes, it is cutting at two different places, so two distinct roots are there. Two distinct roots are there. And in the third case, you're seeing it is touching at one place. That means it has the same roots. Wherever it is touching, the roots are the same at that places. So how do we calculate roots? How do we calculate roots? We have the equation fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Now you have done the quadratic equations even in standard 10th, and you have calculated the discriminant. Discriminant d is equal to b square minus 4ac. So the nature of roots will depend upon b square minus 4ac. If you remember, the roots of the quadratic equations were given by the formula x is equal to minus p plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, where b square minus 4ac is called the discriminant. B square minus 4ac is called the discriminant. This is called discriminant. It is called the discriminant. So for this purpose, what we are going to do, the nature of the root will depend totally, because you see minus b and 2a is not going to make much of a difference, because it is plus minus outside the square root of b square minus 4ac. So what is the value of b square minus 4ac will decide about the nature of the roots. Nature of the roots mean they are going to be negative, they are going to be positive, they are going to be real, or they are going to be not real, they are going to be equal, or what else is going to be there. So let us see if d is greater than 0. If d is greater than 0, that means it is positive. Discriminant is positive. If discriminant is positive, then there will be possibility of two distinct roots. There will be possibility of, then the parabola. If d is greater than 0, then parabola will cut x-axis at two distinct points, and hence will have two distinct roots. They are not going to be the same roots. They are going to be distinct roots. Why? Just see here. Suppose it is A and B. It is C and D. Let's not take ABCD because ABC is already involved in this. Let's take something else. Like I had taken earlier x1, x2, that let's take. It is x1, x2, x3, x4. There are two possibilities. If it is opening upward, then x1 and x2 are roots for this particular graph. I don't know what is the equation of this graph, but it is y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is positive. And for the second graph, we have y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, but here a is negative. x1 and x2 are roots here, are roots and here x3 and x4 are roots. Okay, x1, x2, x1, x3, x4 are the roots. It is when d is greater than 0, when d is positive. D is greater than means d is greater than 0 means d is going to be positive. D is going to be positive. Now in second case, if d is equal to 0, if d is equal to 0, what will you get? Let me show it to you theoretically also. X is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then x will become what? Minus b upon 2a. So that means the curve will be touching the x-axis. It has no y coordinate. It has no y coordinate. It has no y coordinate. So it is x is equal to something. It is x value is there only. The value of x is only there. So what will happen is, if a is positive, if a is positive, a is greater than 0, then it is opening upward and it is touching the curve at x1. And if it is a is negative, so it is x2. It is x2. Now it is cutting at one point only. That means both the roots will be same. Roots are going to be same. There will be same roots. There will be two roots, but they will be same. Minus b upon 2a, minus b upon 2a. Whatever the value of b and a are there. Roots are going to be same. Roots are not going to be distinct. They are going to be equal and same. This is the case when d is equal to 0. If d is less than 0, again x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. If this d is going to be 0, less than 0, that means under the square root you will get a negative number. And when you get a negative number under the square root, then it is not going to be a real number. It's going to be a complex or imaginary number. So b square minus 4ac will be imaginary number. And so when it is imaginary, neither it is going to touch the x-axis nor it is going to cut the x-axis. So what will happen is, either the curve will be totally above x-axis or it will be totally below x-axis, something like this. Because it is not cutting x-axis, because the roots are imaginary. They can cut x-axis only if the roots are real. If roots are imaginary, so curve will not cut or touch, x-axis. So these are the things which we have discussed about the nature of the roots, that how do we decide, and We said if a is greater than 0, then parabola is opening upward. If a is less than 0, that means if it is negative, it is opening downward. And then we discussed the three conditions: d is greater than 0, d is equal to 0, or d is less than 0. Now let us talk about one. There are two more important concepts: vertex of the parabola. The vertex of the parabola. After third, let's take the fourth point: vertex of the parabola. Vertex is the point where the either the curve will reach to its minimum value and then start increasing, or the curve will reach the maximum value and it will start decreasing from there. So vertex of the parabola is given by minus b minus b upon 2a and minus d upon 4a. ABC are given to us. ABC are given to us. How? Because y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is given. This is given to you. The equation or the graph or the curve is given in the form of quadratic equation, quadratic function. A is known, B is known, C is known, so A, B, C are there, and D of course is B square minus 4AC. D is minus B square plus under root B square plus 4AC or minus 4AC. B square minus 4AC. Under root B square minus 4AC gives you. Otherwise, if it is B square plus 4AC, it is going to be never negative. It is not possibility of negative. Because of minus, it is becoming imaginary. Now, let us see what does it say. That for example, this is a parabola. So this point this is the point where is this is the vertex of the parabola. It is given by minus b upon 2a minus d upon 4a. Also this line gives you is the line of symmetry, a line passing through the vertex of the parabola, a line passing through the vertex of the parabola. The line x is equal to minus b upon 2a is passes through actually. Passes through the vertex, through the vertex, and the parabola, the graph, is symmetrical about this line. Symmetrical about this line. It is exactly symmetrical. Whatever the point will be on one side, will have the same on the negative side. Symmetrical. All the points will be symmetrical about this axis. This line which passes through the vertex of the parabola. Now let us see. We know that y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. If x is equal to 0, y will become c. Y will become c. X is equal to 0 means what? The parabola will always cut y-axis at x is equal to at y is equal to c. The parabola will always cut y-axis at y is equal to c. At y is equal to c. X is equal to 0, then you will get y is equal to c. So if you see here, if I draw this is y-axis, for example. If I take y-axis, parabola can be like this. Parabola can be like this. This point, the y coordinate of this point will be c. X, c. The y coordinate of this point will be always c. It cuts the y-axis. It cuts the y-axis. It cuts the y-axis at this point. At this point, suppose it is A here, it is B here. At A and B, the value of y coordinate will be c. A. And where will we get c from? Y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. This is the value c, which will give you that where does the curve cuts the y-axis. So this is, I have discussed the parabola in quite detail, which should help you. Thank you.